A single team since 1999, the inaugural to the WNBA Finals in her first year. We are underway here from Indianapolis. Well, in the first round of the playoffs, the Washington Mystics have playoff aspirations. Both teams have some work to do to get there. Indiana enters the night in 6th. The Mystics are in 10th as Natasha Howard leans in and misses. And there is Kiki Iriafen, the league's 5th leading rebounder, pulls down her first board of the night.
A couple of things for Washington. They got to keep Kelsey Mitchell in front. I don't know if they have anybody with the speed and explosiveness to guard her on that end of the floor. And they have to defend the three. They gave up 15 threes in their last game. And for Indiana, it's touches to Aaliyah Boston in quality spots on the floor where she can have an impact. And Indiana right away is going to have to finish 2 shots at the rim. They also got to build some confidence off the bench with some of the new players that they have added.
Well, time to check on the line of the night. It's 63.5.
Pat, you know, I think there's been a lot of conversation about Indiana down 3-point guards without Caitlin playing yet and without Ari McDonald and without Sydney Colson. But I think this is a veteran group that you can play at times without a point guard because they get it off the glass and do such a good job of pushing and advancing the ball in transition. Iriafen.
And Washington loses Natasha Howard on the inbound pass, and the Fever have their first points of the night. Third matchup between Indiana and Washington on the season. These two teams have not played in over 2 months. The home team, the winner of the previous 2. They have split the fair. Citron might have dragged her pivot foot off balance, shot won't fall.
Indiana switching on their ball screen coverages right now.
Here's Mitchell on the handoff, bounce pass. Boston one bounce and a left-handed finish.
I mean, forget about it. You know, she gets to that left hand and she gets through the nail. She's going to make a play.
Boston, who has 14 double-doubles on the season. One more would be a new Fever franchise record, and it was a record set just last year by Caitlin Clark. Entry pass into Iriafen. Mitchell got her hands on it. Iriafen able to wrestle it away. And Dolson had her pass deflected off of Indiana, and it'll stay Fever basketball.
So going left, it is a nightmare for every defender in the league.
Fever basketball. An offensive. Washington is the league's 11th ranked offense coming into today, and Indiana has had to piecemeal the backcourt together, but Kelsey Mitchell has been so strong. 20 points per game, that's a career high. Stephanie White saying pregame, if there's one position you don't want to lose all your depth, it's point guard, and Indiana has lost all of their depth as Dolson deep position. Can't finish, but there's a foul.
Besides the 20 points per game for Kelsey Mitchell, which is the most in her 8-year career in the W, she also is experiencing a career low in turnovers. And when you get to be the mature player that Kelsey Mitchell is, that understands no matter what the role, whoever's on the floor, you're never going to see her change her expression. She is all business. She's a tremendous teammate, and Indiana is glad to have her healthy.
And Mitchell had 24 points in Indiana's loss on Tuesday. A disappointing loss for the Fever to the Dallas Wings. Indiana was down by 17 in the 4th quarter. Finished on a 19-3 run and actually had a Mitchell look to win the game at the buzzer and did not fall. Indiana's lost 3 of their last 4. Washington 5 of their last 6. Hull, corner 3. Here's Boston, the offensive rebound, flips inside to Howard, who lays it in.
You go step up screen, flare on the weak side, and because you're taking shots in the system, it allows you offensive rebounding position. It's a great job by Indiana offensively.
Dolson launches a straightaway 3. She is more than capable out there, a career 40% three-point shooter. Sutton had it knocked away by Howard. And it's Indiana basketball.
Indiana's been so consistent. You talk about fit. She's been absolutely perfect for Indiana.
Been a really important leader for what is no longer maybe a young team, but still a team that is growing, has a lot of young players. And she provides a ton of experience. Howard's won 3 championships, Defensive Player of the Year. And this is where she started her WNBA career, right here in Indiana. Mitchell, aggressive, bounces to Howard, splits the double team, finds its way to Boston.
I mean, it's another gear for Kelsey Mitchell, and when you make that dribble handoff so low or inside the three-point line, it's really hard to defend. But the thing that Washington, I think, has done so well all year is share the ball. They will move it. It doesn't get sticky with Sydney Johnson's team.
Here's the rookie all-star Iriafin out to Enksler. Shot clock down to 2. Iriafin turns, fires and hits.
They have a great understanding of getting a numbers advantage even on the side of the floor, not just in transition.
Cunningham too strong on a 3 on the other end. Howard knocked that one out of bounds.
Last trip for the in-round jumper.
Mystics have taken just 4 shots here in the early going. Indiana's already taken 10 of them. Washington's turned it over a couple of times. Enksler driving on Howard. Enksler flips it up, shot too strong. Boston pulls down the rebound. And Howard dangerous in transition. Howard backs in, flips it up, flips it in.
Second in the WNBA in field goal percentage. Natasha Howard, 55%.
Boston is in the top 10 as well. That has been a formidable front court all season long. Oh, Mitchell took an elbow to the face. Mitchell goes down. She is back up on her feet, but it's 4-on-5 right now. Mitchell just now crossing the timeline. Entry pass to Boston, who can't finish inside.
Good help from the weak side by Alicia Clark.
Fever cannot afford any more injuries to their backcourts. Mitchell on the drive, contact made by Melvin, and a foul.
That's a sign of depth, and I think that's a really good coaching tactic by Coach White.
Well, here's one of those point guards that Kelsey was talking about. Odyssey Sims, a WNBA veteran, 12 years, brings a lot of experience, albeit it is learning on the fly. As Sims not afraid to let it fly and hits a 3, her first shot she's made with the Fever.
Not even a sweat going.
Well, you can tell she wanted to get that first bucket out of the way after being held scoreless on Tuesday. And Lucy Olsen with some nice work around the rim. There's Dantas has checked in as well for Indiana. Dantas, entry pass from Howard, it's knocked away. Enksler comes up with the steal. Enksler drops it. Here's Alicia Clark, who can't connect on the 3 ball. That is a weakness for Washington. They hit under 6 per game. That is last in the league. And the Fever are a good 3-point defensive team as Dantas launches and hits.
Well, the Mystics gave up 15 threes in their loss in their last game to the Valkyries. They're going to have to match up quicker in transition.
Dantas had been slumping a bit. She missed her last 12 from the 3-point line. Indiana with a strong defensive first quarter here. Washington still sitting at 8 points, and these slow starts have been a bit of a problem for Sydney Johnson's group. There's Shook Sutton knocking down the baseline jumper. Hull extra pass. Sims off on a 3 ball.
Madison Scott getting her first minutes in a Washington uniform as well. Pat on the assignment of Lexi Hull. Odyssey Sims, a former Defensive Player of the Year in college basketball at Baylor for Kim Mulkey. Teammates with Brittany Griner on a national championship team.
This is just Sims' second game with the Fever. She played 12 games earlier this year with LA as Sutton can't finish inside. Oh, and Enksler, good work to knock that off of Howard, who is standing out of bounds. So possession will stay here with the Mystics.
So the Mystics are sending 3 back and 2 to the glass. Now, Indiana has done a good job all year of controlling the defensive boards.
Sutton trapped in the corner. Mitchell deflected it into the hands of Iriafin. Cross-court pass, and Clark can't hit on a 3. This ball foul. Scott, who was signed yesterday, called for her first foul. Howard, not enough zip on that entry pass.
2 turnovers trying to make the entry to the block.
And a bounce pass to a cutting Iriafin, but she can't finish inside. Indiana turned it over 18 times on Tuesday, just 15 assists. Good ball movement here. Dantas looking inside for Howard. Cross court pass, it finds its way to Mitchell, who splashes home a three.
I mean, Kelsey threw her hands up like I'm wide open over here on the weak side.
That's Indiana's third three here of the first quarter. They hit 9 per game. This 6 under 6. As Anxler launches and misses. And Washington has missed their first 5 from out there.
Indiana doing a good job going in between the slots. She is incredibly challenging to defend. I think she's a first-team All-WNBA guard.
I think there is no question that she is strong consideration for that. You talked about it on the open. She has been arguably the best guard in the league this year. As Sims fire away, well, she has been aggressive early. Sims has taken 3 threes in 3 minutes here. Knocked down her first. She's missed her last 2. There's Citron off the screen, drives on Cunningham, flips it up, and Dantas is called for the foul.
Sonia Citron leads the Washington Mystics right now in scoring. And we asked Sydney Johnson before the game because Brittany Sykes goes to Seattle, and now Sonia gets the best defender every night. And he has moved her around a little bit to put her in spots where she can maybe get a different quality of catch, but I don't care where you put Sonia Citron. She's going to find a way to score. She is that talented and has that level of IQ with the ball in her hands.
Sykes was Washington's leading scorer and leading assister. Now Citron right behind her in both of those categories.
I've never seen anybody do that before. Trade your top scorer and assister. You got a good deal for it. A lot of picks next year in the first round. Right now, 3 picks in the first round for the Washington Mystics.
And a blocking foul is called on Anxler. That's coming off of the quickly rebuild through the draft. Anxler was the 4th pick by the Indiana Fever back in 2022. With the Mystics here for her 2nd season.
Fever basketball.
Kayla Timpson has checked in as well here for the Fever, another rookie. He was a 2nd round selection. Mitchell sizing up Clark. Here's Sims on the drive. The left-handed push shot will fall.
That's a much better decision for Odyssey Sims. Once you hit that first 3, it'll open up some driving lanes with the space that's going to be provided.
So Sims with 5 off the bench. Indiana has 8 first quarter bench points. That's typically been a strength when they're playing well, as Iriafin just bullies her way inside.
What a pass by Melvin, too. Really nice.
Mitchell turns on the Jets and gets to the rim.
No one can keep Kelsey Mitchell in front.
Two rookie all-stars playing catch here. Iriafin drives to the lane and lays it in.
Really nice job of clearing out one side of the floor so you can go 2-man game on the naked side.
Iriafin with 6 first quarter points. Final 5 seconds here for Indiana. Mitchell step back deep 2. And he rattles out.
At the end of the first quarter.
Iriafin with those 6 first quarter points. She leads the way for Washington. They had 5 different players score 2 points in that first quarter.
KK Timpson with the block. Just
here's Olsen. Awkward look on the baseline. Shot hit off the side of the backboard. Here's Sims, who's getting a lot of early run here for Stephanie White's group. The step through and the bank shot.
What a tough 2. Lucy Olsen hustling back in transition defense, doing a really nice job of defending. That's just a tough bucket.
Odyssey Sims, who was held scoreless on Tuesday, 0 of 4 from the floor in 13 minutes, now has 7 points here for Indiana. She leads all scorers here tonight. As Hull pokes that one away, comes up with the steal. Dropping for Sophie Cunningham. Washington doing a nice job of getting back defensively.
Much better job transition defense.
They beat Indiana and Baltimore. The Fever did not have a fast break point in that game. There's Hull spinning, fading, and hitting. Tough shot over area fin.
So you see Washington brings the double on the bounce. Aaliyah Boston very well aware, makes the right read on the skip.
Fever shooting 55% from the field here so far tonight.
The crowd is roaring loud tonight. Hearts are pounding, burning bright and bright. The field's alive, electric light. We rise, we run, we won't back down. This is our moment, this is our round. Game on, let's take it home. We fight together, we're not alone. Game on, hearts of stone. Victory's calling, it's in our bones. Sweat is dripping, breath is fire. Push the limit, climb up higher. Every step builds our empire. We charge, we chase, we're here to claim. We're the thunder, we're the flame. Game on, let's take it home. We fight together, we're not alone. Game on, hearts of stone. Victory's calling, it's in our bones. It's in our bones. Sweat is dripping, breath is fire. Push the limit, climb up higher. Every step builds our empire.
Kiki area fin, it was
We charge, we chase, we're here to claim. We're the thunder, we're the flame. Game on, let's take it home. We fight together, we're not alone. Game on, hearts of stone. Victory is calling, it's in our bones. It's in our bones.
The ball not directly overhead is coming in with the
Cunningham beats Sims, who goes custom post and lays it in. So 4-1 for Indiana, and the Fever lead is up to 12. Odyssey Sims been here for less than a week. Got 9 points and 8 minutes. That game tonight as well. Those are a couple of teams that are just ahead of Indiana in the standings. Phoenix in 4th, Las Vegas in 5th. Indiana is 6th to start the night. Little high-low, and it's Steph Dolson with the 2.
really good ATO by Sydney Johnson's team. A little high-low action in the middle of the floor. Really tough to guard.
Stephanie Dolson has seen her minutes decrease fairly significantly this year. Nothing to do with her play. It's just the youth movement is on here in Washington, but when they have suffered some injuries, no Shakira Austin, no J.C. Sheldon tonight, Sydney Johnson feels more than comfortable going to Steph Dolson. In fact, he was talking pregame about everything that Dolson has meant to this young team. And he said at times, she thinks of things that he should have said before he got down.
From 10 to 15 feet, Aaliyah Boston is 60% from the floor. She is excellent on that short roll or in the middle third.
She is 7th in the league in field goal percentage. She had a stretch during the year where she led the league in that category. And as Caitlin Clark hopefully makes her return back, as Enksler knocks down from the mid-range, you'll see that number go up again for Boston.
Aaliyah Boston has led this team in scoring 6 times this season. And 4 of those that she's led the team in scoring, Caitlin has led the team in assists. There's definitely a connection there. And the space, the pickup point, the quality of the catch for Aaliyah Boston, all of that changes when Caitlin Clark is on the floor.
Here's a rolling area fin, and how good has Kiki area fin been here tonight? 11 points on 5 of 6 from the floor. All able to rescue the loose ball. A 4-0 burst from Washington as they try to close the half strong. Mitchell off the screen, draws the foul, and she'll head to the line.
You cannot guard that action. It is too challenging because of the
scoring. Is she's having the best year of her career at getting to the foul line. She's taking 4.2 free throws per game, which is a career best. That was the first free throw attempt of the night for Indiana.
For your Fever, number 1, Odyssey Sims.
Have shot it well, and they've done so inside the arc. Indiana 55% from the field on 2-point shots. They're 13 for 19. Mitchell 1 of 2 from the line. She's got 6 points here tonight. Citron off the screen, off the mark on a 3. Sims back on the floor after giving Indiana a real boost off the bench. Late first quarter, early second. Mitchell surrounded inside, lost the handle. And who touched it last? Suffering and Gina Cross was in third. It's off
Good
of
job.
Washington.
Come together. See if the other one saw it.
Now catch and shoot, knocks down her second shot of the night.
Lexi Hall just lets the game come to her. She never forces anything. She plays such a solid game for Indiana and really excels in her role.
Sutton rejects the screen, runs into Howard, kick back out to Melvin. Shot clock already down to 6. Ariafin on Boston, kick out Anxler. Shot clock down to 2. Anxler with the reverse, but leaves it short. Now Sims launches ahead for Mitchell. What a pass by Odyssey Sims.
What a sprint by Mitchell.
Indiana loses Citron on the other end, who answers with a triple. And here's Howard running the floor, drawing the foul. And Indiana having some success with these baseball passes. This is a Fever team that was really built to do just this. Now, obviously with Caitlin Clark in mind, but Odyssey Sims make passes like that.
You have to run. You got to run your lane hard. And if you run your lane hard, you're going to get rewarded. And there's 3 lanes. There's the rim run, which is the lane in the middle where you run straight to the rim. And then there's the wings. You run outside, left and right. And the wider you run, the more challenging it is to defend. And the faster you run, the harder it is to defend.
Tasha Howard coming off a 12-12 game on Tuesday. That was despite Indiana's loss. And this is on the free throw. Would have made her the first Fever player into double figures. Clark straight away, hits a 3.
Alicia Clark is a legitimate scoring threat. Every time I have one of her games, I'm reminded of how she led the NCAA twice in scoring at Middle Tennessee State for Rick Insell.
This is her 4th game in Washington, where she played the 2022 season. She came in that trade as Mitchell off the screen, misses on a 3. And Sims is called for the foul.
Well, this is Washington doing a good job of running the floor hard.
Only a first-round draft pick coming over, but a veteran. One of the best defensive players in the league.
Citron.
The rookie, Citron.
She is so good. Can you believe she was the 3rd option at Notre Dame last year? Crazy.
She's coming to the WNBA and is maybe option number 1 for Washington.
She is option number 1 for Washington.
Certainly with the Sykes trade, that's true. She is the leading scorer.
And she gets the best defender. So one of the best perimeter defenders for Indiana is Lexi Hall.
Washington had cut a 13-point lead down to 6. Here is Citron, little crossover. She took part in that 3-point competition here. Citron finds some space and connects 2 more. Sonia Citron, who's got 9. The rookie all-star duo of Citron and Ariafin have 20 of the 37 for Washington.
Well, they combined to average 37 and 13 rebounds.
Here is Sims, there's a whistle first.
Sonia Citron, 5 times she's been, that is a jump shot that she has made probably 1,000,000 times already in her young career.
Aaliyah Boston at the line.
For more on Citron, let's check in with our sideline reporter, Kelsey Casper.
Well, more on the duo of Kiki and Sonia. Kiki with 11 points in this game, Sonia with 9. I asked Sydney Johnson about his young core before the game and when he knew that those were two players that you could build a franchise around. He said they saw signs of their professionalism from the beginning. They were sponges pouring into their position coaches. He told me before the game that it was about 5 to 8 games into the season. He thought, wow, we really have something here, and they've been able to sustain that this season, moving up on opponents' scoring reports. And he says those are two humble and competitive players that bring their A game when the bright lights are on.
You know, I think Jamila Weidman, the general manager, had a plan with Sydney Johnson, and they're sticking to it. And over there on the bench, Shakira Austin not available today. Georgia Amore not available with the ACL, is ahead of schedule on her rehab. They got a lot of good young pieces.
Well, the Fever got maybe the first look as Enxler drives and lays it in. It's a 4-point game. The Fever got maybe the first look at just how good those two players were going to be. Preseason game was #1 here in Indianapolis, and both really excelled back in early May. Hit the ground running. Two of the better rookie seasons in recent memory as Boston draws the foul inside. She'll head back to the free throw line where she just missed a pair.
I really appreciate about her is how she stays open. She shapes up to the ball and always keeps contact. She gives you a clinic in posting up on the interior. And at 6'5", she's got tremendous skill to go along with that relentless work ethic to try to get a quality catch.
Emily Enxler, somebody who has benefited from the trades. The Edwards exit, and there was a little bit of a log jam in Washington. Enxler playing more minutes, had 13 points in their loss on Wednesday. Enxler's got 4 here off the bench tonight in 12 minutes. Well, the poise of a player like Sonia Citron as a rookie to go down there in the post as well. I mean, her overall game, she's so well-rounded as a rookie.
She's 6 foot. She's
avoid that third foul before halftime. Area Finn with 11 points tonight, going right at the rookie. 4th overall pick in the draft, wins the matchup. She'll head to the line.
India had a chance.